Here we go. Let's see here. Are we live? We are live. Okay. Hey, Ethan, can you hear me? Let me know. Say yes, I can hear you. That'd be awesome if you could, buddy. Cool. Here we go again. Lance, what's up? Can you guys hear me okay? You can hear me? Type in if you can hear me. Yes, can hear you. Okay, great, great. Great. Thanks, Carol. Thanks. Ethan, got your comment? I'm not going out to Newport, but I love Newport, Oregon. Wish I was, but if I ever get up that way, I will message you and let you know that I'm heading up that way at some point here this summer or maybe fall or something like that. But I'll let you know. I like that new video. Thanks. No, me too. Actually, I got that one from the grandson. Gosh, probably back in December, somewhere right around before Christmas or something. So that's how long it takes me to put this stuff together. He did give me most of the backstory to it, so I didn't have to create a lot there myself. Just so you guys know, my name is David Boozer. Real quick intros, always do this. I usually like to do this live stuff on Friday mornings, anywhere between 9 and 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. And this is always usually following an encounter story that is out there. Just so you guys know that all the stories are based on true stories. I do have to do some kind of creative stuff into some of these stories because usually I get like little police style reports and people want stories out of them. I'm like, oh, I love to do that. It sounds great. Let's see here. Somebody's trying to call me now. Should I take it? I don't know. Here, we'll tell them we'll call back. Hello? Hey, Florence, can I give you a call back in just a little while? I'm live on YouTube right now. Okay, all right, thanks. Bye. There we are. That was my friend Florence from California, and we're working on her website. Anyways, love your channel, David. Thank you, Vince. Hi from Bandon. You're in Bandon, Oregon? Really? Tell me you're from Bandon. A Tinker's Dam. Bandon. Let me know if you're really from Bandon, if you're from around there, because I would like to shake your hand in a couple weeks here. Literally shake your hand, because me and my family go over to, we're going to Bandon to camp again. We go out and get one of those yurts over there by, over at whatchamacallit. So, yes, born and raised. Awesome. As a matter of fact, I know Pastor Fox out there at Bandon Christian Fellowship. I go to Roseburg Christian Fellowship, so here we are. Anyways, if you're out there, maybe we can hook up for a second, meet downtown or whatever. Be awesome. Let's see, David, you should do a story with Dark Waters. That'd be kind of cool, you know. I like sharing my own experience and everything else. So, also, I did was doing that whenever that person called, but I wanted to let you guys know that these I got from folkloresupply.com. This shirts they sent me, and they sent me a mug with Hairy Man on it, which is awesome. But guess what I got to give away this month? These guys, I don't get paid for this stuff. You guys know this. I don't get paid for these these aren't advertisement spots. These are like actually really cool things. They're fans of this community as well and kick back on here. And they sent me this coffee mug and a matching shirt to go with it for this month's winner, for June's winner of the giveaway here at PacWest Bigfoot, the little thing I like to do every month. So there we are. So the lucky winner is going to get both of those. I'm not going to split them up into two giveaways. This is going to be one massive giveaway to start off our summer here, heading into summer. So it's going to be a whole lot of fun and just really cool. So there we are. Dave, do you want me to tell you a story about a police officer that saw Bigfoot? I would love to do that. Even if it's just a brief account that you have, Ethan, you can kind of send it to me. You can either hit me up on PacWest Bigfoot, we can get together on the phone or Skype or something, or you can just kind of write up what you have. I can create the story. Like I said, I create backstories around it, and that's fine. People love that. I love doing that. It's more like campfire storytelling style, but they all based on true experiences. Um, the other thing is I still have people around here going, I don't think this is true. I don't care if it's true or not. They're just based on true experiences. I'm not going to go out here and try to figure out every single, and I'm only putting out the real stuff. Come on, really? Even the real people don't probably put out the real stuff all the time. So there you have it. I'm going to win this month. Sure, have some stories for you from this area. That would actually be awesome around the Bandon area. I don't really have any yet. As a matter of fact, when we're over there, my wife promised me that we could go walking up along the river there, the Coquille and stuff, maybe some trails or something like that. Take a walk up there and whatnot. I'd love to go up that way. Maybe just kind of get an idea of the layout of the land there would be really, really cool. But I would really love to hear if you have anything over there around the Bandon area. I would love to create a story, encounter story there around any experiences or things that have happened out there. So that'd be really, really awesome if you could get that. I am looking for interviewees. I'm the interviewer. I'm looking for interviewees. So if you guys have any encounter stories or anything like that, you guys would like to share, like to jump on a live recorded interview or recorded interview played back here on the channel, that would be great. You can hit me at pacwestbigfoot@gmail.com, pacwestbigfoot@gmail.com. You guys can also go there if you're not a subscriber yet to the list. Get on the list. Get on there. And I will send that out to you. By chance, a couple, 2, 3, 4 weeks ago, whatever it was, I accidentally hit you guys with an email about some work at home stuff that I actually do on my other website. Just wanted to mention that 2 of you that actually did sign up for it, there's 2 people out here that are already earning like $500 a week. It was a total fluke. I was like, you guys didn't have to do that. I was like, I'm sorry. It was just a buddy of mine was doing my email stuff that day, and he clicked the link to send it to this whole group here. I was like, no, 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 no. And he did. Some people wanted to check it out anyway. So, hey, congrats to you two. That was awesome. So let's get on today and talk a little bit about some Bigfoot. Anybody got any experiences, anything out there they want to share? What I like to do here is maybe talk about a particular topic for about an hour or so, kind of hang out. My family's usually gone Friday mornings. We do homeschooling, but they do a homeschool co-op, so all the kids and my wife go over to the church and do a homeschool co-op with science and history and whatnot. And so I stay here and do this with you. So, a cop in Whitehall, New York saw Bigfoot with his partner. Bigfoot jumped in front of his police car and he got out of the car and flashed his flashlight. I think I heard about that. Over his hands. Dave, do you want to know? I don't remember. I'm probably finding Bigfoot. I don't know. Monster Quest. Yeah, Monster Quest. I watch that. I'll even watch reruns on like YouTube if I can. Dun, dun, dun. This week on Monster Quest. Yeah, it's like scientists at a cabin. That was awesome. That was a good one too. Bigfoot from an episode of Monster Quest. I'm going to send you a story from my encounter last summer in the Junius Mountains here in New Mexico. Short audio clip. Vince, I would love to sit down, if you don't mind, and actually do an interview with you. Most everybody here knows your name now, so what you really got to hide? No, I'm just saying, I would really love to get you on there and actually sit down and have a conversation for about 30 minutes, 40 minutes, if you don't mind. PacWestBigfoot@gmail.com, PacWestBigfoot@gmail.com. Let's connect there, and then I would really love to sit down with you and do an interview. That would be awesome if you're up for it. It would just be a blessing for everybody here, I think. So, I love Monster Quest. Me too. I like Monster Quest. I will always watch the Bigfoot ones over and over. It's either that or I watch games of, Chelsea soccer team over and over. Except for that last one. So, let's see. Hands. Did I miss anything? Cool. Right on. So, you guys have, last week I was kind of mentioning that I wanted to talk a little bit about some of the little weird things that Bigfoot seems to do. I know that a lot of people out here are kind of more into like the mystic side of this stuff. Possible, like phasing in and out of space and time, like it's a Star Trek show or something. I get that if you believe that. I wanted to talk a little bit today about some of the kind of funky things that they do that, like leaving the X's. When the gentleman that had sent me the story about his grandmother, and I noticed that of all the places, and here's the deal: I've actually been up that way. I've actually been to Niagara, Oregon, and they've got that big watermill thing, and it's really cool. And it's this little tiny town that sits there right by the river, and you go over this bridge, and it's just really cool there. But I used to go up and down that little, like basically a Santiam highway, basically up and down there from Salem to Detroit Lake, and I'd go up there just to fish, practically every other weekend when I was living in West Salem for a short period of time. And I have to tell you, I went past that way, and I think I know kind of because I know he mentioned it. It's like a couple 2-3 miles just south of that bridge that turned off and everything. I think I know that whole ravine up there. It's a huge ravine, and there's like three houses there. One on this side of this mountain where you're coming into it. Then you've got this kind of driveway. I remember kind of a big driveway going up in the middle of the ravine, and then you got this another house up here before you turn off on the bridge. Um, I'll tell you, I think I know that property, and if I think about it, and if I remember it correctly, it's really two huge like mountainous mountain hill things, and there's this ravine that kind of runs straight back up, and then actually looks like it just kind of dives back over. It's like a little bridge between mountains. Um, and I mean, it's totally thick bush forest up that way. It's pretty thick, but there is what I do remember some power line areas where they're not like the big ones you see in like mountain going across the United States of America, bro, but kind of more like they're bigger, but they're not like that. It's not like a wide open space, but it is kind of a space, and there is a creek that runs through that area. And so I think I understand, you know, when you go up there and you put like an X in the middle of a creek, it's kind of like for me, I think it was telling her that, hey, we are here now, and you're not going here. This is where you stop, or any other Bigfoot for that matter, or her. Any body or anything on this is letting them know that, hey, we are here, and from here on, this is ours. This is where what we control. I think that could possibly be why they put that right there in that creek. Not to mention the creek could be for food. You got food. So when it's just, it's kind of one. I don't know. It's weird because I know that there's lots of different springs and stuff that run up through there, and that's kind of where that creek was flowing because you got this little like kind of like bridgy thing kind of going on, but you got this section over here where it's pretty flat running through there out to the mountain, and I don't know, it's just weird. So I just thought that was my kind of idea. And I'm going to take a sip of my Sasquatch coffee. Awesome, with Sasquatch on it. Let's see here. Good morning, Dave. Good morning, Nora. Sam. Nice coffee. The Central NorCal recent sightings. No, I don't really. Not right offhand. Nothing like within the last few months or so. But there's been a couple things I've heard from basically up around Crescent City area, south of that, and then back in towards, I guess you would say, Redwood National Forest or whatever that is. There's been a couple things that I've heard of here and there. So, but that's just from people emailing me stuff. So, being reliable. I mean, things can only be so reliable, guys. So, let's see here. I have 100%. He's whispering. Does it sound like I'm whispering? Can you guys hear me okay? Does it sound like I'm whispering? Any ladies here? Remove. Later, dude. Um, let's see here. Trying to do anything kind of creepy, stupid here. I just don't appreciate it. I don't like it. It's kind of weird. I heard a Bigfoot, scary scream in hell. I heard a Bigfoot once, scary scream in hell. Where was that at, Sam? That'd be awesome. Let's see here. Hello from Arizona. This is it. Dave, have you ever gone to Grants Pass, Oregon? I am from Ashland, Oregon. Raised there. I lived in Medford. I actually lived in Grants Pass for a while. My mom got remarried and eventually lived in Grants Pass. I actually went to Rogue River Middle School for a year and to the high school there for 2 years. So eventually I left there, went back to Medford, Ashland area, went to Crater High School in Central Point. So just so you know. But yeah, I know Grants Pass, Oregon very well. Yeah, I used to work there, live there. Yeah. It's better now. Oh, okay. Cool, cool, cool. Yes, hear you okay. Sounds great. I'm in Michigan. Hey, Dave, welcome. Quiet audio. Okay, but it's okay now. I lived in Grants Pass and stories. While listening to your stories in our part of the world, Himalayas, we call them as Yeti, or North America, people seem fearful and distrustful of them. The reason I think that we're distrustful of them and kind of skeptical with them and worried about them is because uh, a lot of the Native American, tales and stories and history with this thing really isn't, even at best, there's some, of course, that go, oh, it's a spiritual being, it's our spiritual brother, but you'll find out that about 90% of the time it's something to be avoided, or just if you notice it, just avoid it, ignore it. It's nothing that you want to confront yourself with. It's something that you don't look at them. When it's, it gets to a certain period of time of day, it's time for you to stop harvesting and let them harvest through the night. It's been like that. So, and if you're thinking about it as a wild animal that may be highly intelligent, and that's fine, animals can be highly intelligent, then you're talking about something that, might not just act on instinct, but can act out of, things like fear itself and protection, things like that. So that's just one of the things, some of the stuff that I personally believe about that. So, when you've got 90% of the people saying this here, and that's been their experiences, and it seems pretty reliable, then you pretty much go with that. You can usually say, okay, I can take that to bank and put some faith into that. I mean, everybody has to put some amount of faith into something. I don't care if you're a creationist or an evolutionist, it doesn't really matter. Got to have faith at some point because you weren't there at the beginning. So, Dave from NorCal, EDK, the hairless Bigfoot. Hey, Walter. Do you have any Bigfoot tracks that display inquiries to the foot? No, but I know Jeff Meldrum and some others have a lot of interesting takes and philosophies and ideas and some really cool thoughts about that. So you could check out Jeff Meldrum's stuff online, watch some of the videos there. You'll find some real interesting stuff about the footprints themselves and some of the, what do they call that again? I can't remember. Anyways, I forgot the name of it. It's like right there on the tip of my tongue. But pretty good stuff. Pretty good stuff. What do you guys think about the X stuff? Like when they put up these X's and stuff. What do you guys think about that? Throw it on up here. Let me know. Sam, I heard a monster quest that if you shoot that at Bigfoot, you'll die in 7 years. Yeah, that was an old folklore, folktale kind of a thing. I've heard that before. Let's see. This is a must if you're being threatened, Sam. What is your opinion of infrasound from Bigfoot? So far, I'm not sure. I'm not sure about it either, but I'll tell you this right now. My whole idea on this is it's kind of like, near where I live, we have this place called Wildlife Safari, which we really do have lots of animals from around the world. especially from the continent of Africa. And we have lions, lioness, and male lions, and it's really awesome because I have heard them roar from just feet away, and I'm telling you, you feel it. It's like, oh my, and it's not just a physical feeling, but something inside of you kind of kicks on, and you're like, even though you know you're pretty much 99.9% safe at the time because there's this big cage that's way tall. Yeah, they build fences around there, but we can't. Never mind. So you got this fence, and it's just huge. But there's something inside of you that just naturally goes into like protection mode and freak out mode, and you're just like, "Grr." So as far as I'm concerned, I think that infrasound, scientifically speaking, is a pretty reasonable belief. They've done studies with that, and I guess what you're saying is that what is infrasound, and do Bigfoots have the ability to create that kind of lionish, kind of loud, kind of growl, roar kind of a thing? I would think so. My mom has heard some pretty faint screams from about 4 or 5 miles away that she thought was, 300 yards or 400 yards away. But she knew that for some reason that they were still far back towards a little smaller lake, about 3 or 4 miles away from where we were camping. She just knew the direction in which they were coming from, and it couldn't be coming down from the ravine. It had to be coming up from up top. And she just knew that it came from over there, but it just sounded so much closer. But for some reason, her gut was telling her it was farther off than it was. So, is that infrasound? I think so, and I think there's something to it personally. So let's go through some of these real quick. I think we are warning others like to spot inhabited. That's what I'm thinking, Elizabeth. That this is inhabited. This is kind of a no. This. We're here just as a warning. We are hunting. We have family. We have whatever. We are a clan here. This is our area. Um, get off my land. They do structures including X's by my property. Ooh, I'd love to hear that stuff. My family's back. I believe they do infrasound. Me too. I believe they do infrasound, personally. Um, Brown Dwarf, you need to call me. You need your website up. Actually, guys, Brown Dwarf's got a website coming out this summer. It's going to be really awesome for you guys, too, for some Bigfoot and Sasquatch. Interesting stuff from Northern California. So, those of you who keep asking about Northern California, I am going to refer to my good friend over here, Brown Dwarf, to you guys here and there, also known as Glenn. Right, buddy? There you go. There's any link to people going missing in national parks and wildlands and Bigfoot? Personally, Charles, I do. I do. If this thing does exist, and I'm pretty much sold that it does. Um, I've had my own experience. I have seen tracks that are in the middle of nowhere for no other. Nobody knew we were going to be there. And nobody hardly ever goes there. And the thing is that there they were nonetheless. And my mom was there with me, and she's the one that first spotted them. Personally speaking, I do believe that. I do believe that they are an animal. I believe that they are a predator. I do believe that threatened or in a protective mode, they can do a lot of crazy stuff. Animals can. Animals can run on instinct even when they are highly, intelligent. They still run on instinct. It's just when they're highly intelligent with that instinct, that's when the danger can happen, because then they're smarter at what they're doing and how they're doing and trying to accomplish whatever that thing is that they're trying to do. So, when you think about it, what is a highly intelligent animal? A highly intelligent animal is more in tune to those instincts and how it reacts to them and how it follows through to complete whatever it's desiring to complete. So, can do infrasound. See, that's what I believe. See, that's where they study that stuff through bears and lions and tigers and bears. Oh my. That's where they kind of study a lot of this infrasound, and this is what they're finding. As a matter of fact, you'll find out that whales, if you really think about it, have infrasound. Have you ever been underwater and had a whale go off by your head? I've heard of whales underwater from miles away, and it's very It's interesting to hear. I mean, it's really, really interesting. So, um, I got a few things on my channel. Sweet. How about any reports in the Northwest Pennsylvania? I don't know anything about there yet. I believe they exist. Mountain Diablo? Mount Diablo? Have you heard of Mount Diablo? Devil Mountain. Or Mount Diablo? Any idea where? I don't even know where that is. David, I'll call. ASAP, Vince. No, that's okay, buddy. I'm busy today and tomorrow, but maybe Sunday late afternoon would be great. No. Let's see. Chimps and humans eat smaller primates. They do. They've been known to cannibalize. So that is, it's like a good friend of mine. He's a forester, and the Native Americans that he knows have called these things. They call them cannibals. These things are cannibals, and I'm sure some of you heard him before. He's been interviewed by me. He's been interviewed by Sasquatch Chronicles, William Jevning, all of us. And they have been known to be cannibals, which means that are they really cannibals because they eat humans? Well, they're not humans. So the thing is that are they really cannibals? If they eat their own, yes, primates do. But primates are known to eat, are basically, omnivores. I mean, you can go both ways. So, this and that. So are they really cannibals? Primates are these things? I don't know if they're cannibals as much. The reason that the natives called them cannibals is because the natives thought that they were some sort of brother to us or something like that, which if you really think about it, just couldn't be true. I mean, it's huge, probably huge DNA difference. I mean, that gets into the whole science stuff. And the thing is, you got to understand, people are like, well, we're 96%, we share the DNA with an ape. Well, we share 94% with a rat. So we live in the same biosphere. But that difference is from here to the edge of the Milky Way difference. So we have to think about it like that as well. But are they cannibalistic? I know that I believe that the missing part in the 411 stuff, that I think that Bigfoot is a lot. I think a lot of it is actually Bigfoot related. I think you've got a bigger percentage than 1% or 5%. I think like 10 or 15 or 20%. The rest of it, I think, is just plain old human stupidity, walking off, getting turned around, and just gone missing. Wild animals that include Bigfoot as well. So let me try to catch up here, guys. I'll never hike alone again after reading Missing People. Go hiking. The chances, I always think it's like this. I think that more often than not, we actually do run across them, that we really are walking by them in the middle of the forest. But I think that 90% of the time, 99% of the time, you ever notice when people say, I saw one, that it was just standing still, they thought it was a stump or it was squatched down or whatever? They're hiding. They don't want to be known. That's what I think. And I think that we walk by them on a more regular basis than we really actually imagine. Maybe if you've gone hiking like 20 times this summer in the Pacific Northwest, I bet you at least once or twice there was one nearby and it noticed you. But the thing is that for the most part, even though they're wild, they're like any wild animal, like mountain lions and bears or whatever. Usually they go away. They don't want anything to do with human beings. But as a Christian and a creationist, I understand that, because there has been a fear that is embedded into animals of human beings after the fall. And that is actually stated in the Bible, that there was a natural fear. So yes, there is, attacks and stuff like that, but usually it's out of real desperation on the animals' behalf. So it's either protection of offspring or desperation for food. So don't be afraid to hike. Go hiking. Take some camera with you. Get a picture of one. Heading to work. Catch you later. No problem, Nora. Michael around. He'll fight a Bigfoot. I think a 5'9", 15-year-old boy. My cousin is 6'5", and he would not touch them. And this guy's been crawling around the caves of Afghanistan shooting the enemy in the face. So, and he was like, dude, I would not want to face one of those. He's like, if they really exist, if they really look like that, and they're that huge, he's all, leave me out of it. Unless I got a gun. PacWest Bigfoot merchandise? guys are killing me with. Oh, I'm just kidding. Actually, I've got the logo done. I got everything done. I'm still trying to figure out how to get this stuff out here. I don't want to do the Cafe Press stuff that everybody else does. I want to do this through some sort of local distributor. I actually got a gal that I'm going to be talking to named Lori, and talking to her about getting things set up, probably through a Shopify page that she has, which will probably run stuff through there. Coffee, we're just doing it like 5 or 6 things, very simple: short sleeve, long sleeve shirts, hoodies, baseball caps, and coffee mugs. And that's, and I might do some stickers, kind of like the nice, awesome, Sasquatch coffee ones that I got that are that really nice, whatchamacallit kind of sticker. I really like those. I'm probably going to do those things, but that's about it. What I want to do with the actual income from it, half the income is going to go into college funds for my kids. The other half, me and my wife decided we're going to go ahead and give those out to a charity. So, and some of that charity actually is going to, we wanted to give it out to some of the Christian charities that we're part of. But also, I wanted to get back into some of the, some of these people out here who are searching for evidence and stuff of Bigfoot, and find some of those really awesome, reliable people that are really doing some honest to goodness research out here and put into those funds to kind of help that. So that's what we'll do. Take half for the college, and the other half we're going to split it between some other organizations. So I figured it'd be kind of cool. Woods are their turf, natural habitat. Yes, we see a ton of good proof in the Blue Mountains every year. So camper weird. Nice. Awesome. Elkaholic. I love that. It's awesome. Carry firearms is my advice. We usually do. Me and my family we have a handgun sitting in a high-powered handgun in our car at all times. So, there is a guy that is supposed to be studying the speech. Yeah, there's actually probably quite a few people studying the speech. Answering an encounter from a story of Florida in the mid-'80s. I know it's nowhere near the PacWest, but it's a fascinating story. I would love to do interviews. Here's the deal, guys. Any North American, United States, Canada, Alaska, British Columbia, whatever, I will interview you. I'll sit down and do an actual recorded interview with you and have it played back on here. I don't really do a lot of anything outside of the Pacific Northwest on the website as much, because those are really just people that just wanted to bring some accounts and stuff from their family or friends or themselves or whatever, and just wanted me to create stories with it. And if you guys got some of that and you want me to do that, great, send it on over. But the interviews, I'll do those from anywhere in North America, anywhere. I don't care if you're sitting in Florida with skunk apes. I will sit down with you and we can do that interview. They're usually about 30 to 45 minutes. That's it. I let you get in here, share your encounter, share your experience, ask you a few questions, have some, chatter about it, and then that's really it. Pretty simple. But I would love to do that with you, Scotty, if you'd like to. It's PacWestBigfoot@gmail.com. PacWestBigfoot@gmail.com. Get me over there and say, hey, Dave, it's Scotty from the live YouTube. Let's set this up, and then we will find a good time to sit down over the next week, and we'll just sit down for about 30 to 45 minutes online. We'll record it, and we'll put it up here for everybody. That would be awesome and wonderful, and a blessing to everybody here. New books coming out this summer. Nice. Yes, we're going to actually, that's Walter Peterson, guys. If you see Walter right there, go like him. Walter is my Bigfoot book guy over on Amazon. We put the blog post together so that you guys can grab them on Amazon. And then, like me, I grab them and I take them, and then I can read them back to my kids or something while camping and scare the poop out of them. Great, Dad. So we do that. That way you guys can take them with you, read them while you're gone and everything, and see what a horrible writer I am. I'm just kidding. But you can take those things with you on the way. Whenever there's no internet, you still have a Kindle app that runs just fine. Central Florida near Ocala National Forest. I've been through there. I was actually born in Pensacola, just so you know. Let's see. Let me try to catch up on some of these comments here. He has a YouTube channel. I studied them for, I think, 4 years. Nice. Share that YouTube channel here, Llama Queens. Thanks for chatting with us. Hey, no problem, Sam. Just glad you're here, man. Just let you guys know I love you all, man. You guys are all awesome. I love having you listen to the stories. Love hearing you. Listen to me go, on the old show with the coffee. I've been trying to play a little background sound on it. So like when you're camping, I know it's kind of like showy, but I like it. It sounds kind of cool. And I like listening to it while I'm reading the stories. It really puts me in the mood. So trying to put some crickets back there and some fire. I'm going to see how I can kind of get it to sound a little bit better as we go along here. Um, let's see here. David. Somebody just put my name in here. David, he's on Dr. Matthew Johnson's great reveal. I haven't even seen that yet. You'll have to send me information on that, man. You know me, I get so busy and wrapped up with stuff and family and everything else. I get pretty busy. Yep, rounds are especially Grizzly Slugs from Texas. Really enjoy your channel, sir. Best one topic on YouTube. Thank you very much. I hope I'm one of those best ones out there. I love that. I love when you guys comment on that stuff and say that. Personally, I think there's some other ones out there that are pretty awesome. uh, for those of you out there that turned me on to Campfire Tales with, Reverend Jeffrey. Well, there's some potty language on there. It's actually pretty good. It's really awesome. I really do enjoy his stories, the way that he reads them. Well, this one came from Pete, and he's living the high country. It's pretty fun stuff. I like to just read it back in my own voice with my own hacking and coughing. Um, but I really do enjoy those stories, so it's pretty fun. I know that his stuff is for the most part kind of fictional. I'm sorry, nonfiction. Or fictional, yeah, fictional. Some, my stuff is based on non-fictional stuff. It's based on stuff that is based on true stories, whereas that over there is kind of like, I don't know. But I'll tell you what, it's like I wanted to do here. I wanted to have that 60-40 split, that 60% entertainment, 40%, experiences, and like I said, the based on true stories. I wanted this kind of like storytelling from that kind of Native American kind of place. That's that mindset there. That's where I wanted. That's what I wanted to do here, and so I hope that's kind of coming out with everything here. I want you guys coming in here thinking I'm the BFRO and doing all this other stuff. I like doing my own research. Plan on doing my own more research this summer and having some fun with kids and the family out there and taking some pictures and everything else. I invested $2,000 in camera equipment and everything else. So I'm going to get out there and do a lot of stuff this summer, but I'm not the BFRO. This is really meant just to kind of, the interviews are meant for that, are meant for kind of the research and experience stuff. The PacWest Bigfoot encounter stories and stuff are really just storytelling from, personal experiences and, that people have had. So I just create backstories around it. Boom, boom, boom. Just look at the dork on the screen, turn the sound off, he makes more sense. I have no idea what you're talking about there. Are you talking about me? I'm a dork? You sound like my teenager. Jeez, you're so mean, man. I love you, David. You're the best. Thank you. Happy Friday, Jennifer. Happy Friday to you too. This is awesome. My computer crashed. That's okay. Check your browser and stuff like that. Sometimes that's the problem. So it's on my screen. Thank you. Dave, from what I've read from books by a couple of Himalayan monks, is that they are intelligent. They care for each other, and their decision to strongly avoid human civilization is a very conscious one. I think it's conscious on many animals in the animal kingdom. I really, really do. It's not that like I said, there's a big difference between being highly intelligent as a human being, being highly intelligent as an animal. And highly intelligent animal is just a whole lot sharper with their instincts and what they know to do quicker, faster, and understanding their capabilities, I think. And that's what I'm talking about. It's their ability to actually also learn. Most animals just kind of, it's like just instinctual behavior, but the more higher intelligent creatures can not only run on that, but they can actually learn from experiences, things that they see and stuff like that. And so that's kind of what I'm talking about there. So that's just, but that's my belief. I'm not a scientist by any means, I'm not a biologist or anything like that. But this is what I read from some of I love reading science stuff. I'm always continually doing that. And so this is And when I look at, a lot of the different, experiences that are sent to me and stuff, and I turn these things into stories, um, there's always that common thread. There's that common thread of how they act and what they're doing, the way they sound or look or acting, whatever. And it tells me that it's an animal based, running on instinct, but at a higher level of intelligence with that instinct. And so that's kind of what I'm seeing. It's like the X, putting these things out there. It's basically figured out to say, stop. This is, it's kind of like us and what? Fences. Fences. We put fences up. You could look at Native Americans and how they would situate their communities with certain amount of teepees on the outside and who was in those teepees. Usually stronger males and families. And then it protected the older and the weaker and the children on the inside. And so when you look at these kind of things, they start seeing this, they start learning to put things up to say, hey, this is a family on the inside here. This is our hunting ground. This is ours. This is our property or whatever. And they're telling you, hey, this is where we're at. So that's just my thought and my idea. So maybe it makes sense. If it does it does make a little sense. Southern Bigfoot and skunk ape. I believe there's two types of Bigfoot out here, not 7 or 10 or Martians. I think that there's a skunk ape and I think that there is a Sasquatch. I think that they can be different in between. It's kind of like there's one human race. There's no races. It's like somebody's like, well, you're a racist. That's not true because there's only one human race. But there's multiple different types of humans in the human race. There's black, there's Asian, there's white, there's whatever you want, red, whatever you want to call them. But that's basically what I think about Bigfoot. But I think that there's two different types. It's kind of like alligators and crocodiles. Okay, I think that there's a Bigfoot, a much larger type of primate that lingers with lots more hair, very big in stature because it's running up and down these mountains. It's all over this kind of environment here. Whereas you start getting down toward the southern parts of Texas and Florida where it's warmer and everything else, a little less hair, not quite as tall, but still relatively tall, a little bit skinnier. And I think as far as I believe, a little bit faster in the movement. And that would be basically a skunk ape. I think that its makeup is just a little bit different, more of a neck, but not quite the neck, while the Bigfoot up here has almost no neck. So there's a difference here between the two, but I think they're of one race or one species. So it's like dogs with different types of dogs, but no such thing as a dog cat. Just impossible. But what we do have is two types of Bigfoots. If anybody agrees with that, say, yeah, I agree with that. I like that idea. That's actually a pretty good one. Richard Fairby's, if you're sleeping, dude, get off here. Go. I need to get my mom's phone. Yes, you will. You should be able to see one if they exist. I've heard one. I've heard one right in back of a tent, and I've heard it run off at a fast pace. Walk off real fast. Nothing else could explain it. There is no other explanation for it, period. I have seen giant barefoot prints in mud in the middle of nowhere. We found it in the snow, basically in the middle of nowhere. Me and my mom and my family. I personally believe a Sasquatch is the ancestors of humans. Personally, Walter, I believe that it's an animal that is actually it's basically a Gigantopithecus that really is not extinct. It's like they always tell us that things are extinct. There's a certain type of dinosaurs that exist today. There is. There's proof for it. I just don't think they're extinct. They're just not. That's like telling me that by 2015 that all polar bears would be dead. And now there's from 3,000 to 30,000 of them. I think that bad science is just bad science, or bad opinions is just bad opinions. They just don't make any sense. Personally speaking, I think it's Gigantopithecus, and I don't think that it is extinct. I think it's what we know today as Sasquatch or Bigfoot. I just don't think there's a whole lot of them. I don't think there's like 100. I think there might be a few thousand. rolling around the Pacific Northwest, but maybe that many, maybe, if that. So Native Americans refer to Sasquatch as another tribe of humans, not animals. The reason that they do that is, I think, is because of we live in the same biosphere. So we have heads, we have arms, we have legs. So do apes and chimps and things like that. So, automatically assuming that, oh, well, we're an ancestor of a monkey or an ape. That's just not true. It's not even close to being true. It's scientifically impossible. The math does not add up, and you can't do the math to make it happen. You can try to all you want, you can believe what you want, but the thing is that science says otherwise. And so what I'm thinking is that this is a particular part of the uh, great ape species. And I just think, but I personally believe that this thing's even more highly intelligent than your typical gorilla. And those are pretty flippin' intelligent. As a matter of fact, I think they're more intelligent than dolphins and whales, personally. Fair enough. You got it, buddy. I know you. You're my good friend, so we're okay. Absolutely. Central Florida, sighting an ice, tall Chewbacca-looking creature. Not like Patty, not as bulky. Yeah, see, with sparse hair, a little bit thinner, not as bulky, but still rather tall, pretty close to being as tall or as tall. But you notice it's a lot thinner hair, but it's got a little bit more neck. It's almost more chimpish than it is gorilla-ish in a way. I would really love for you to email me, man, so that we can just sit down and do this interview. I'd love to sit down and do that. I was born in Pensacola, Florida, too, so I'm all good. I think I'm gonna just take one for the team and just YouTube Live, actual encounter. Ha ha ha. Yeah. I'm still keeping my mind open to all options. No, me too. I keep my mind open to all options, except for this. Somebody once asked me, man, personally, and this is a religious one. They were like, Dave, if something, if you if there was something in the Bible that you found that you didn't agree with, what would you do with that? And I said, I would change my opinion because I believe that much, because I understand. I've been through that. So if somebody sits there and tells me and shows me the evidence so far that this thing really is just an animal, and it doesn't shape shift or shift into whatever, that it's really an animal, and the evidence at hand is pointing to this thing as being a physical creature in this dimension, in this world, that has been bound by natural laws as we are, then I'm going to pretty much be like, it might be from Mars or whatever, but here's the deal. So far, this is what we know, and this is what I'm running on. And so this is where my mind is going to be for now, unless one day somebody can prove otherwise. But for the most part, this is what this is. Because if I leave my mind wandering to too many different things, then I'm going to be kind of all over the place and not really to be able to focus on what it is I want to learn or need to learn to really help me understand the experiences that I've had or deal with the evidence that I have seen in my own life. And so I want to find the truth. And the truth is the truth. 2 plus 2 is 4. It's not 5, it's 4. And so I like to deal with that. I wonder if they interact with other carnivores like bears, wolves, and cougars. I think they eat them. That just might be fierce. What are your thoughts on that? You ever notice there's lots of cougars, lots of bear out here, lots of black bear in my neck of the woods, lots of cougar in my neck of the woods, more than you would expect. We even started having wolves and everything running around nowadays. But here's the deal. Still, you don't see them a lot. Is it because they're hiding, or is it because they're just hiding from people? Or are they hiding from other predators? I think there's other predators out in the woods, and I think it's Bigfoot. And I think that they actually are part of their food source, that cougars and bears are part of their food source, and I think they stay away from them and avoid them. So, I mean, things go quiet all of a sudden in the forest when a predator is around. Could it be a cougar, a bear, or Bigfoot? I mean, you don't know. We don't know. I mean, but personally, I just think that they're part of their food source. Great job on this channel. Very interesting content. Thank you, Ryan. Thank you, sir. I love this. Great. Uh, let's see here. Yeah. Let's see here. What are your thoughts on them using infrasound like tigers? Yeah, we talked about that earlier. I think that the infrasound is a real thing. I think it does. It's like a lion or a bear that has a, especially a lion that has that roar. I mean, I've felt it before because I live near a place called Wildlife Safari, and I've heard them within feet roaring, and you can feel it. So infrasound, and I've seen the science behind it. And I pretty much buy it. I do. So. 50% chance it exists, in my opinion. I think it's Bigfoot inflation at the moment. It was not as common as sightings in the early 2000s. Yeah, I just think that eventually more and more people, as the internet, you got to remember that as the internet really started to hit through the late 90s and then into the 2000s, where it really started getting, people were more able to sit there and share more stuff online in under the guise of some internet name. And so the thing is, I think that the reason for a lot of this, and trust me, I am an internet marketing specialist, I'm an SEO specialist online. um, I'll tell you this right now, the internet is the reason for the explosion. It's not the explosion that people making up stories. I think it's an explosion because we can come out here under the guise of, candy apple, and we can actually, use these different names out here to share our real experiences, or even if they're not real experiences, we can still share whatever. And so the thing is that maybe it's not the fact that there hasn't been that many sightings or anything like that. It's just up until this point, up until that point, or the last 15 to 20 years, there really hasn't been a means or a medium from which we could really share that story or those experiences like we can today on Facebook, Instagram, Pinterest, YouTube, a blog, a website, you name it. It's all here today. And so that wasn't a Sasquatch screaming, that was my kid. So that's kind of what I believe. So nomads, they travel with herds of animals as they migrate from the winter grounds to their summer grounds. I think that they do migrate as well in a way. I think that they move around from place to place, and I think that they follow animals. I get habituation sites, and I think that sometimes there are some that do habituate certain areas and stay there maybe for life. But I do think that for the most part, I don't think they're nomadic from, well, we left British Columbia and we ended up in Mexico, no, maybe they might move down into northern Washington or southern Washington, then back up to British Columbia, following the different cycles of where deer and the antelope are playing. I think that they do that. I think that's completely possible because the winters aren't as harsh in Washington and Oregon as they are in, say, British Columbia and Alaska and everything. However, your summer times are pretty much like ours. Ours is a little bit warmer, but the food source here is year round. It's all the time. So, the winters are not that harsh here. So, let's see. Uh, let's see. Did I miss anything else here? It's 10 a.m. I've been here for about an hour, guys. If you guys have any other questions or anything like that, or comments, talking a little bit about them making those little X's in the woods that we find from time to time. Personally speaking, just to kind of wrap that up, I think it's kind of both a warning and a fence, like a fence, as in like, a fence around a farm, or a fence to keep, people out, keep your country separate, or a fence around, Obama's house. Political pun intended. I think that this is a warning and a fence in a way, saying, hey, this is our habituation site, this is our hunting grounds, or this is where we're living right now and raising our young at this point in the year. So, other Bigfoot beware, and people beware. Animals, deer, bear, I don't think they comprehend that kind of stuff. But people, they think maybe they might have a thought in their head or an instinct in their head that says people should understand this or know this by now. And maybe we do, maybe we don't. Well, whatever. The thing is that maybe that's their process. But I think that I'm almost 100% sure that this is actually to let other Bigfoot know that, hey, don't be crossing here, because we may not be cannibals, or we may be cannibals, or even though we're not cannibals, guess what? You're in danger because we have young here, we have a family here, and we are hunting here. and we don't want any others in here. I think that's what I believe. That's what I think. What do you think, Brown Dwarf? Think that's pretty cool? 100% animals of flesh and blood. Me too. I think they're telepathic. Um, I don't know. How do animals really communicate between squeaks, whistles, and for the most part, they do talk. It's a gibberish talk. That's what we hear. So do they communicate like that through the whistles and the howling and the screaming? I think the screaming is more of a warning. I think the howling is more of a, hey, how you doing, girl? And the whistles. I think that's more like, hey, here I am, here you are, we're hunting, or you're in my area, I smell you, or I hear you, or I've seen you, um, you know, let's meet, kind of a thing. I don't know. I think I agree. Let's see here. So is Bigfoot only a hunter and gatherer, or do they have farming skills? I think they're just hunters and gatherers. I think they are predators and they're animals. Berries, leaves, pine needles, mushrooms, whatever, here in the forests, the Pacific Northwest. I also think that they're meat eaters, and I don't think that humans would be beyond that, personally. I don't think that they go out of their way to hunt humans. I think that we are in the wrong place at the wrong time sometimes, and they're not above that particular practice. So I think that we can be a food for them, but I don't think that we are a regular kind of food source for them. Big difference, I think. But to them, I think we are edible, eatable, as Willy Wonka would say. I've seen where a tree is leaning against another tree upside down. What are your thoughts? That's the kind of stuff I'm talking about. We were living up the mountain, and I found these two trees that were, gosh, I don't know, about 15, 20 feet tall. And at about the 8 or 9 foot mark, they were both snapped off and laying, straight across, or was that not perpendicular, but straight across, horizontally below that tree. Um, it was either a person did it or a Bigfoot, as far as I'm concerned, because the big thing here is that it's only us on that mountain. My neighbor is the actual assistant pastor of my church who lives directly a mile across, and when I can see him from my place, but he never comes up there. He's an older guy. He just never came up here unless he was, we asked him, or he was. It's not going to come up in the middle of the night and do that. I know my kids aren't because they're too small. So, as far as I'm concerned, those tree structures and the tree breaks and things like that, I would really consider, when you find those again and things like that, look up and down that tree. Look for hair. Look for hair left behind. It's a good idea. Pure some unknown creature in the 80s, and a hiker went missing after he was went to camp in the area. That's a good one, Nini. Awesome. Nini or Nene? Nini, I think. State Park in AG, Blackwater Falls State Park, didn't cross it. That is their house. Llama Queens, here's the deal. PacWestBigfoot@gmail.com. Hit me up. I'm looking for some interviewees right now to interview and talk with. So, Bigfoot is highly intelligent creatures and would eat foods with protein and nutrition. I think so too, and I think that we can be that if we're in their way. I think that they naturally avoid us and don't look at it as a regular food source, but if push came to shove, in a protective manner or a desperate manner, I think that we could be. So yes, they are referred to as boogers, and not the kind in your nose, but an actual booger. I know that. My family is from Mobile, Alabama. Or actually, my dad was born in Prattville, Alabama, and I was born in Pensacola, Florida. So. So I'm discovering Finding Bigfoot series. I like Finding Bigfoot. I think it's fine. Some of the goofy stuff and crud that they do, dancing around with makeup on as girls and stuff is kind of weird to me. I don't really get that. I think that's kind of the entertainment side of it. But then again, I'm 60% of the entertainment side of it. That's what I wanted to do in the community. I didn't want to come out here trying to be some sort of BFRO or anything. There's enough of those out here. There really is, and that's awesome. And I think those what they do is great. Me, I wanted to be more of kind of like based on true story accounts. I wanted to be more of the entertainment side for all of you guys out here because I know that sometimes it's okay to go to the BFRO, but sometimes you just want to hear a good story when you're falling asleep at night, or read one when you're around the campfire, or listen to one or whatever. And that's what I wanted to do. I wanted to be more of the creative side of this, and so I think that Finding Bigfoot group has more of, where I have the 60/40, where it's 60% entertainment, 40% based on true stories. I mean, real accounts and stuff, of course, of all of this. I think that it's just the opposite for Finding Bigfoot. 60% real research and good stuff. 40% entertainment when they're doing the electric boogaloo in the middle of the night with glow sticks in a forest. So Bigfoot on stimulants. Yeah, first season was good, then it became strange and repetitive. I've noticed that over season like 8, 9, and this 10 or whatever it is, has been kind of a little off and weird. Bobo seems to be in a whole different realm of reality lately. He's kind of slow, and that's what happens. He smoked a lot of weed over time, I suppose. The Indians in our area built stick structures too. Yes, they did, and maybe that's kind of that learned behavior. And not on the part of Indians, but actually on the part of Bigfoot to learn to make these kind of different stick structures and little sleep. Maybe they are highly intelligent, but they're not going to build these teepees or anything like that. But they could go, oh, lean, 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 and they create these little apex little log structures to sleep in and to hide in. Just my thought and just my idea. Rating pop farms and moonshiners. I'm sure there is, man. You entertain me, Dave. Me too, Tracy. You're not the only one. My wife is like, you're funny, mister. What is everybody calling me today for? Come on, guys. Come on. It's just crazy today. It really is. Anyways, guys, it is after 10. I have got to be running. I've got to finish up some work today, and then we've got soccer playoffs starting tonight and all weekend for the kids. So it's going to be a fun, long weekend. So for those of you believers like myself, please keep praying for my wife and my son. That he had a little infected lip and stuff like that. It got swollen and stuff. My wife actually had poison oak, and it got infected on her neck and her arm pretty bad. They're doing much better now. It's going away, but thank you guys for your prayers, and keep praying for them. That'd be awesome. And Dave's the greatest. Thank you, Walter. I gotta say that's true. These Bigfoot stories help me sleep at night. I love listening. I don't listen. You know what, guys? Here's the deal. I've never actually once, to tell you the truth, listened to myself on these. I don't. I listen to everybody else's. So I do. I might listen to a few minutes once I record it to make sure the sound's okay, whatever. But for the most part, I don't. I don't. I've never listened to mine afterwards. It's just kind of weird. I'm like, I hear myself enough with all the internet marketing stuff I have to do everywhere else. I'm like, eh. But I like campfire stories. I like Sasquatch Chronicles. I like William Jevning's Into the Unknown. And my other ultimate favorite is Monster X Radio. Monster X Radio with Gunner out there who owns Sasquatch Coffee Company. That's a great one. And by the way, thank you so very much, Gunner, for the coffee, man. It's been awesome, dude. Love it. Great stuff. Have a great day. Email you prayers. That would be awesome. Email me. Have a huge film crew going through the woods. Yeah, that'd be crazy. Actually, from what I understand, they don't. They actually hang back in a vehicle that they use. They're actually there themselves. So that would actually be a good idea, anyways. So with that, that's it. Thank you guys very much. I'll see you next Friday. Next Friday, if you guys want to an email, let me know. Help me come up with the topics that we could talk about. That way we're not too random here or anything like that. Now, I don't mind random. I think it's fun. I think it's fine. Having this conversation about every Bigfoot thing 6 ways from Sunday is great. But if you guys want to talk about just certain topics, let me know. We'll pick a topic. We'll talk about it until it becomes random. How's that sound? Awesome. Is that shirt the cave painting? Yes, it is. So is the coffee mug. And don't forget, guys, this came from um, folkloresupply.com. And they gave us this coffee mug right here to give away. and a matching t-shirt to go with it that I'll be giving away this month. So if you guys want to be a part of that, PacWestBigfoot.com, PacWestBigfoot.com. You can go over there, you can sign up, get on there, and we'll have some fun. Awesome. Also, I'm starting to email you guys every week to remind you on Fridays about the new encounter story. So if you guys got an email from me, if you feel like unsubscribing because you don't want that stuff, well, whatever then. Be that way. But the rest of you is going to be there. You can just click on. I'm going to start putting some messages down below and also put in some of my favorite things that I love from the Bigfoot world, from coffee to shirts to places I love to visit and everything else, so that you guys can kind of jump in and share my little world of places that I love online and things I love in the Bigfoot world and the community. Okay? I gotta have the shirt, please. If you want one right now, just go over to folkloresupply.com. I just ran over there. They got this one that I wanted real quick for you. And you know the jackalope? Their jackalope shirt is just as cool as this one. And it's got a jackalope on it, and it's got the one eye, like the one-eyed Jack card, you know? And it says one-eyed Jack. It's just awesome. So grab one, go get one. All right, Tracy. All right, James. All right, guys. Have a great day. God bless, and I will see you guys next Friday. And don't forget, the new encounter story is on the YouTube channel right now. Okay? All right. God bless, guys.